Hey guys, my name is Evangelina. I'm going to go ahead and read Skills with People by Les Giblin. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you like what you see, and you can go ahead and watch me read several different books. The first chapter in this book is called Understanding People and Human Nature. The first step in increasing your skill in dealing with people, successful human relations, is to properly understand people and their nature. When you have proper understanding of human nature and people, when you know why people do the things they do, when you know why and how people will react under certain conditions, then and only then can you become a skillful manager of people. Understanding people and human nature simply involves recognizing people for what they are, not what you think they are, nor what you want them to be. What are they? People are primarily interested in themselves, not in you. Putting the same thought another way, the other person is 10,000 times more interested in himself and herself than in you. And vice versa. You are more interested in yourself than you are in any other person in the world. Remember that people's actions are governed by self-thought and self-interest. This trait is so strong in people that the dominant thought in charity is the satisfaction or pleasure that the giver gets from giving, not the good the gift will do. That comes second. You don't have to apologize or become embarrassed in recognizing that human nature is self-interest. It has been the way since the beginning of time and will be that way until the end of time. We are all alike in this respect. This knowledge that people are primarily interested in themselves gives you the basis on which to work in your dealings with people. It also gives you power and skill in your dealings. In subsequent chapters, you will see how many successful techniques spring from this understanding. It is a key of life for you to realize that people are primarily interested in themselves and not in you. Chapter 2. How to skillfully talk to people. When you are talking to people, pick out the most interesting subject in the world to them to talk about. What is the most interesting subject in the world to them? When you talk to them about themselves, they will be deeply interested and utterly fascinated. They will think well of you for doing this. When you talk to people about themselves, you are rubbing them the right way. You're working with human nature. When you talk to people about yourself, you are rubbing them the wrong way and working against human nature. Take these 4 words out of the vocabulary: I, me, my, and mine. For those 4 words, substitute 1 word, the most powerful word spoken by the human tongue: you. This is for you. You will benefit if you do this. This will please your family. You get both advantages, etc. Key. If you will give up the satisfaction you get from talking about yourself and you get from the use of the words I, me, my, mine, your personality efficiency and your influence and power will greatly increase. Admittedly, it is hard to do, and it does take practice, but the rewards will make it worth it. Another good way of using people's interest in themselves in conversation is to get them talking about themselves. You will find that people would rather talk about themselves than about any other subject. If you will maneuver people into talking about themselves, they will like you very much. This is done by asking them questions about themselves, such as, how's your family, John? How's your son in the army doing? Where is your daughter living now? How long have you been with the company? Is this your hometown, Miss So and so? What do you think of so and so, Mr. Sir? Is that a picture of your family? Did you enjoy your trip? Did your family go with you, Mary? Most of us are not effective with others because we keep busy thinking and talking about ourselves. The thing to remember is that it is not how you like your remarks on subject, it is how your listeners like them. So when talking to others, talk about them and get them talking about themselves. That is how you can become a most interesting conversationalist. Chapter 3: How to skillfully make people feel important. The most universal trait of mankind, a trait you and everyone else has, a trait so strong that makes people do the things that they do, good and bad, is the desire to be important, the desire to be recognized. To be skillful in human relations, be sure to make people feel important. Remember that the more important you make people feel, the more they will respond to you. Everybody wants to be treated as somebody. This is the basis for the Asian habit of saving face. Nobody wants to be treated as a nobody. And when they are ignored or talked down to, they are being treated as just that. Keep in mind that to the other person, they are just as important to themselves as you are to yourself. The use of this trait is one of the cornerstones of successful human relations. Some tips on how to recognize people and make them feel important. Number 1, listen to them. Chapter 5 explains how to skillfully listen to people. Listen to people is just about the best way to make them feel important. Failure to listen to them makes them feel unimportant. Applaud and compliment them. When they deserve it, it must be sincere. Recognition and appreciation are basic human needs. Use their names as often as possible. Call people by their names and they will like you. It is much better to say good morning, John or Mary, than to say good morning. Pause before you answer them. This gives them the impression you have thought over what they said and that it was worthy of thinking over. Use the words you and your. Remember, avoid I, me, and mine. You and your make them the important ones. Acknowledge people who are waiting to see you. If they have to wait, let them know you know they are waiting. This is really treating them as somebody. Pay attention to everybody in a group. A group is more than one, not just a leader or spokesperson.